two fellas from Kansas and a whatever from Indiana
are looking for the signs and into the stars for the perfect pair of motion pictures.
out there.
A couple of flicks, three corn-fed cinephiles, otherworldly connections.
This is the Midwestern Crop Circle Double Feature.
Yet another movie podcast. Hello, you cool cats and dirty dogs. Welcome to the Midwestern Crop Circle Double Feature Podcast. Here I am, Zay, calling in from Indianapolis, that place that called Liza Minnelli when she was on, what's his name?
Larry King?
Larry King. She was talking for that person from Indianapolis and just started laughing at them. That's all we got.
Is that the one where she goes, "Bring alive"?
Yeah, that's the same one. But also someone was like, "I'm a theater major." And then she started laughing at them. Anyway, who are you people?
Well, my name's Christian. Longtime listener, first time caller. I'm in charge of this little shindig tonight, which I don't like. You would think like I've never done this before.
While you're
But the
munching
vibes are
on
different, so.
Swedish fish into the
Yeah.
mic.
Because I love the movies. I'm sorry, I needed something sweet.
I'm Brett. I'm not nervous at all. I'm very excited.
I'm not nervous at all.
It's like presentation day at school, and it's finally like your like last name finally came up because we were doing an alphabetical order.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, it's 28 days for the government shutdown. So,
a very
like I
special
said, the
episode.
first time we tried to record this, it's a very special episode. It's our super secret government shutdown episode. So,
Funds are low. They're running out. Haven't been paid. Yep.
The emergency
See what you
podcast
get.
fund.
I invested all my money in that East Wing.
I recently learned about the.
I also found out we are not eligible for a Golden Globe.
They're like making like some secret underground surveillance room too under that wing. So that's crazy.
It's already there.
Oh, it is? All right, then. I don't know.
That's the bunker. Some of us watched Catherine Bigelow's masterpiece, A House of Dynamite, opening weekend.
No, you didn't. You didn't watch it until it was on Netflix.
Okay, I'm just gonna jump into this movie thing. Okay, so
Yeah, you're up.
as you know, we're all here for a double feature, and yeah, to quote the great sage Steve Harvey, we got a good one for you today. Over here, we got the criminally insane, and over here, we got the mentally insane. What's the difference? Well, we're about to find out, because honestly, when I picked these, I picked them based on the theme that I thought they were, but I felt like I was kind of wrong in that, because they dive way deep into something totally different. And these are two very different movies, vastly, that clearly I didn't remember much of. So we're going to start with the first one, which we're going to start in the not so distant past of 2010. And that is Martin Scorsese's follow-up to his Academy Award-winning The Departed, Shutter Island. Now, I bring that up because Brett and I watched the recent Scorsese documentary as fans of Scorsese. And he didn't have like the best of times on this, which is honestly, I understand even without watching the documentary beforehand, because this always feels like it's not a Scorsese movie in the slightest. Like this falls between Hugo, which that documentary did not cover at all.
Weird.
There's a poster, and that's about it. And The Departed, which are like, I understand the Hugo stuff we've talked about on the old podcast, like his love of film, the preservation of film, and a gift basically to his daughter, Francesca. Right? That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then The Departed, which is like his movie that is like the typical gangster movie, although he's not all gangster movies, as the documentary really pushes. So Shutter Island is a psychological thriller. So we're going into the psyche of things tonight. And for the first time ever, if you listen to the old podcast, you knew that I like to ramble about these plots, but I did my best to write notes down. So we're going to try our damnedest here. I'm prepared somewhat. The movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, Max von Sydow, Michelle Williams, among many. But picture it. 1954, Ashcliff Hospital for the criminally insane. It's a gorgeous place. I used to vacation there all the time, right? Teddy Daniels, played by DiCaprio, he's a U.S. Marshal along with his partner, Chuck All, played by Mark Ruffalo, and they are investigating a disappearance of a patient on this island, known as Shutter Island, and at the hospital, and of Rachel Solando. She's gone missing. I mean, you obviously don't want to lose a patient in a place like this, and it's an island, okay? The person could be anywhere. It's really funny in that watching, like, the first bit of this when they're introducing the island, where it's like there's the women's side, there's the men's side, and then there's the criminally insane patients up there on the hill. And it's like, nice building, evil castle up on the hill. And it's like, which one is the plot going to take place in? We'll get to that in a second. So they meet with Dr. John Cawley, who is played by Ben Kingsley, and he's the head of the facility. And he notes that there was a Dr. Lester Sheehan who had left the island once this Rachel person disappeared. Coincidence? Possibly like a love thing going on? Was it an escaped patient, or was it somebody who like snuck out with the laundry? Who knows? We also have Dr. Naring. It's a German guy played by Max von Sydow, because, like, you know, we need us a good European, and sure enough, we get Max von Sydow, who also, his introduction in this movie, honestly, pretty good, because he doesn't get up and is like, gentlemen, hello, I'm blah, blah, blah. He's just, like, sitting in his chair, smoking, whatever. He's like, you fuckers again. But yeah, so, you know, they're like, well, how can we help you? What do you know? What leads do we have? Yada, yada, yada. There's some really good interrogation scenes with, I'm going to actually say her name on this, and there's a reason I want to say this. Bridget Kearns, played by Robin Bartlett, and I know that I've seen Shelby Oaks at the time of this recording, but she is in Shelby Oaks.
Oh.
Which I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, because, like, her scene in this, I think, is one of the more iconic scenes for a lot of the stuff that takes place. I don't know if we'll talk about everything, because this is such a recent movie, and I think everybody should watch it. So anyway, Teddy has some issues of his own. He, on this island, keeps having these like flashbacks, which can be associated a lot with the PTSD that he's facing. He is a World War II veteran. He got to experience the liberation of Dachau, one of the concentration camps in Europe, and it's just kind of all flooding back to him at the same time. And he is also having these darker dreams of his wife, whose name was Dolores, played by Michelle Williams, who was killed by somebody named Andrew Latis. So Teddy also believes, which I'm like, okay, thinking about this, it's like, there's somebody missing over here. You're more concerned over here. That this Andrew Latis guy happens to be on this island. Out of like all the islands and all the gin joints in the world, you happen to walk onto Shutter Island. So in response to, okay, we got to find this Rachel lady, sure. But also, I'm going to find this guy who killed my wife, okay? But then what happens? Rachel pops up, and she's played by Emily Mortimer. Right, yes, okay. Emily Mortimer, and it's like, whoa, she's here, cool, case closed. But of course, it's like, no, because some weird shit happens there too. And Teddy is still like, okay, but also this guy. So like I said earlier, what happens? They got to go to the Shady Castle. I say castle, but it's a Civil War fort is how it's explained here. Who explains that? What's his name? John Carroll Lynch. Good actor, good character actor in this. Also, Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill, is in this as the warden. And like anytime I see him in a movie, I love seeing him because I'm like, that's Buffalo Bill. Big Silence of the Lambs fan here. So what was I saying? Teddy goes into the fort, and this is Ward C. This is where like the criminals are held, like the ones who are behind bars, the Hannibal Lecters of their day. And there he finds George Noyce, who's played by Jackie Earl Haley. Which, okay, this is a side note. I think Jackie Earl Haley is in this because he met with Scorsese at the Oscars that The Departed won at, because he
True.
was also nominated for Little Children. And when I saw that clip, I'm like, oh, maybe that's why. Plus, he was like a child actor. So, like,
Yeah.
he's known. He also made Nightmare on Elm Street remake at the same year. I don't remember that one. We won't talk about that. So
Not good.
I've okay, then there you go. I've not heard much about it because I don't think anybody ever watches it.
It's a
Anyway,
piece of shit.
It's awful. I watched it last year. It's bad.
oh well, there you go. So George Noyce claims that he knows who Teddy is and stuff. And he's like, basically, there's a lot of shady shit happening on this island. And honestly, if you think about it and you look around and you look at the people and the guards and the doctors, you'd be like, no shit, there's something happening on this island. Like, everybody is kind of hostile. Even the nurses are very, like, hostile towards Teddy and Detective All when they're just asking, like, simple questions. And it's like, you also have nowhere to go right now because there's a hurricane a-coming. Okay? And you know it's bad when you say a-coming. And there's my first Golden Girls quote of this entire podcast. Thank you. But anyway, so Noyce tells Teddy that, you know, they're doing shady shit, specifically in the lighthouse, which is always the fucking lighthouse for these movies. And that shady shit is a lobotomy. And if you know anything about lobotomies, they're not fun. I mean, historically, they've not been fun.
Not
which
that
I
you've
think
experienced.
Sure. Which is why they stopped doing them. But yeah, and then at this point, the hurricane gets super bad to the point that Teddy and Chuck, or Detective All, whatever, get separated on the island, and it's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Teddy then comes across a cave where, lo and behold, I'm going to spoil this part, lo and behold, there's another fucking Rachel Solando on this island, played by Patricia Clarkson. And she, once again, is like, there's some more weird shit going on that you don't know about. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? And she's just like, think about it. And in his thinking, he's thinking more and more of his wife and how she died. And he also had kids, which that becomes more of a thing. And it's like, okay, cool. The Solando thing, the reason we came here, it's not as important right now. Because in this movie does a fucking 360, 1,000,000 degree turn and is like, no. Here's what's actually happening right now on this island. And for the life of me, the first time I ever saw this movie, I did not understand it. And as time goes on, yes, I understand it. But even when rewatching it, Toby and I had to ask back and forth clarifying questions because it can get very confusing very, very fast. I think, and again, I don't know how we want to approach this because this movie is 15 years old, but I think it's still so fresh and new that the shit that happens is still very like, whoa.
I would
Okay,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you
Finish.
go ahead.
I would argue we should get into it because I would say
Okay.
I would say our role here is not to market the movie, it's to discuss it. And if you're tuning into a podcast where we state what the film title is in the beginning, like, you should watch the movie. But
Okay, so
that's
here we
that's
go.
my perspective.
So as it turns out, Teddy is Andulatus. So he is the person who killed his own wife. And that's told through another flashback that Dr. Cawley, Ben Kingsley, has to like really super reinforce to like, no, dude, you're this guy that you're looking for because you killed your wife, because she killed your kids. And that's like the holy shit moment where, yes, his wife, I guess, was like a manic depressive and she drowned their 3 kids. And in turn, he killed her. And honestly, You can argue that it's like, okay, he didn't quote unquote mean it, but it's like in the moment, it's like, what the fuck did you just do? Boom, I killed you. So then he was sent to this hospital in Shutter Island, um, and and I texted Brett this like a picture of the doctors and guards and everybody's reactions of like everything here is an act. The nurses are in on this, the doctors are in on this, the guards are in on this, the orderlies are in on this, that they're basically playing along for Andrew Latis, Teddy, whatever you want to call him, of that he is a detective searching for Rachel Solanda, who does not exist. Emily Mortimer character was a nurse. The Patricia Clarkson character doesn't even exist. She was just a hallucination from him. Okay, that's the other thing. And the Mark Ruffalo character is his doctor. So they're like feeding into him all of this stuff, like, yeah, there is, while they're waiting for him to like figure it out. It's like, let's go. But at the same time, again, they have nothing else to do. There's a fucking hurricane. There's little hints in this movie too. Like the interrogation scene I was talking about, that the guards are standing behind both the patient they're talking to and Leonardo's character, which is like, guards and prisoners, patients, etc. And there's also just a lot of flashes of things that are there and the things that aren't there, which I'm like, that scene has a lot of that stuff, which is awesome. But yeah, so it comes to the realization that DiCaprio's character is a patient there, and the next step to quote unquote cure him of all of this and make him forget it all and whatever is whatever the fuck's happening in the lighthouse, which are the lobotomies. Like, that was true. That is a true thing. And yeah, that's Shutter Island. It's a very twisty, turny movie. Like, there are parts I think that if you aren't totally focused of it, you're gonna lose track of it very quickly. Definitely like buckle in for everything once DiCaprio's character's on his own, because that's where things get like, what's happening? I don't understand this. And then I think Ben Kingsley, and in that case Scorsese, do a very good job in like explaining things where you're like, oh, this makes so much sense now. But yeah, and yeah. So when I said that the two movies that I picked are very different, I we'll talk about the other one here afterwards, but like this is very much the dark turn of what a quote unquote, and I'm using the terms from 1954, the insane asylum is, in terms of nobody there is friendly. Everybody's there just to be like, okay, you're gonna lock up, or you're quote unquote crazy. Let's just give you the lobotomy. Like, there's nothing to help you with. I think Ben Kingsley character says he's not one for like medication. Like, he just straight up is like, lobotomy. Like, you're having these lobotomy. You feel this way, lobotomy. Like, that's all that this island is for, which is the sad part about it, because it's like none of these patients are really given a chance. They're there. I would say that they're more in a jail than anything else. Like, this is a prison for them, without minimal help. I mean, yes, there are like, they get their fresh air and everything, but then you get to the super criminally insane ones, and it's like, that is the terror dungeon up there. You don't want to go there, whatever. And I mean, the warden is just a complete asshole, which again, casting Ted Levine in this is like, yeah, that's perfect casting right there. But yeah, that's Shutter Island in a nutshell. A very dark movie,
Yes.
like super dark movie. So
I thought you were about to say a dark nutshell.
be quiet, you. I want to hear from the Scorsese hater before we listen to the other Scorsese fan.
Why would... I don't know where this came from. Anyway, I'm not a Scorsese hater. I just don't love everything he's done. And I think that's where I come. He's not one of my favorites, but he has movies that I find to be my favorite. I think this is fun. It's a good movie. I liked it. It's a nice little popcorn thriller, like nice twists and turns. You're like very focused in on the narrative. I like all that stuff. I don't have any complaints about it, really. It's fun. Like, I like it. I guess that's like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. It never went to a place where I was just like, holy shit. I think it was because I'm counting this as a first time watching it because I think I've seen parts of it. And I think the parts that I'd seen was the reveal that he was in fact a patient. And so going into it this time, I'm like, well, I already know that. So, yeah, I guess it's one of those movies where you already know the twist. It kind of lessens the movie, maybe? I don't know. Does it?
I think Twitter does a great job in like spoiling that for us because I see it like maybe once a month on there of like great movie plot twist and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
then at the same time, and I think it's because I don't watch this movie like unless I'm one doing a Scorsese marathon or this in this case, and it's like that's still a pretty good twist.
I personally don't think it lessens it just because, and maybe it's the same thing as you, Christian. I have seen this for the most part once before. I mentioned to y'all last week after we stopped recording that like it was playing one time when I was working at a movie theater and it was not very busy, so I went and watched the movie. So I maybe missed like the very beginning. But I also knew the twist, and I had a lot of fun looking at the clues as they come up. Like Christian, you mentioned that everybody there is not very friendly, and not like even the nurses, this detective comes in and he's trying to solve this crime and like interrogating them, and they're just like completely standoffish. And he's a dick too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but like even when he gets off the boat, there are looks, there is discomfort. And so I think like it's really cool to see that and see the gradual reckoning that he is maybe a patient before it's revealed. Like at some point he has to wear the orderlies clothing.
That part
And
too, yeah.
it's like it's an orderly's clothing, but like he looks like a patient when he's wearing it.
Mhm.
And like he has all these dreams where he is seeing Michelle Williams, who we know at the time is his wife, but we don't know the full story. We think that she just died in a fire. At some point towards the end, she appears to him and talks to him, and it's not a dream. Like it's very clear it's not a dream. So like it's kind of like, don't get me wrong, the twist hits, but the film is like kind of peeling away little by little as it goes on. And I find that a lot of fun, even knowing the twists going into this watch.
Yeah. It's a very sad movie too. Like,
Yes.
and I think it's just because knowing everything, it's like this is a very sad situation that he's going through. Like he's already lost his wife and his kids, and now he's losing not only, I mean, he's lost his mind and everything, but he's also lost, I don't know. There's something about it that, like we're saying, nobody's treating him right, and it's a sense of, my God, we have to fucking do this for this guy, really. Like, we got other shit we got to get to. And then immediately, like, lobotomy.
It's interesting too because he says they talk about Ladis, and we know that he's there for Ladis, but he specifically says like, "I'm not here for vengeance. I'm here," and this is before Patricia Clarkson even shows up. He's like, "I'm here because I think there's something more going on here. Like I think there's something behind the scenes, and that's why I want to see Ladis." So the whole time it's very twisty and chaotic.
I will say the one person who is kind of quote unquote kind is Mark Ruffalo's character too. Like even in the end, he calls him Teddy, and he doesn't respond, and that's after he says, "quote to live, what it would be worse to live as a monster, to die as a good man."
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa.
So it's not a good thing for Patricia Clarkson to just show up and talk to me?
You should lobotomy.
Time to go. I'm curious about I had a different read of the Ben Kingsley character. I thought he was trying to prevent the lobotomy. Like I thought
Who's
that's
wanting
why.
the lobotomy? Is it the side out character?
I think
I
so.
think he's the
Oh,
lobotomy
then never
guy.
mind.
I think. Yeah.
That makes sense. You know why? Because he's German.
Sure.
That's interesting too, though, because Leo's character is a veteran of World War II, liberated Dachau, and so like these violent tendencies and this past trauma is not just coming from what happened with his wife, it's from seeing all that death and destruction at that point too. And that's
Like,
where like the
he's-
horror vibes really come through in those scenes.
Like, he's seen death in terms of his wife and kids, but he's also seen death of, like, on obviously the human scale of what
Yes.
the human can go to, the human limit, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I like this movie. It's not one of my personal favorite of Scorsese, but I like, as like Zay said, it is a popcorn film. It's very fun to watch, and it's turn off the lights, pop that popcorn, watch this movie. What was I gonna say? Oh, Brett, what did Scorsese think of this?
Like from the doc.
Yes.
He basically just said that he had a full on like emotional breakdown while filming this movie. And it was very, I don't know if it was like the worst experience he had making a movie, but it was up there. And like even Leo in that doc says like you could tell like Marty was different. He was a little bit more like his fuse was a lot shorter on that movie. Something was up. And I think part of it, he didn't mention the studio in that doc, but I think that was probably part of it. Part of it is just like, if you watch Mr. Scorsese, it really gets into just how personal of a filmmaker he is, in ways that like I've always known, but I didn't quite realize. So I think when he does these type of movies, I think he really does get deep with them. And of course, you know, he went from this and then he made The Wolf of Wall Street, and he said, I had a blast making that movie. So you can see the vibes of this movie just didn't work for him in his personal life when he was making it.
I think
And
that
again,
makes sense.
does feel like one of his movies, you know?
I wanted to bring up one other thing, that this would have made a good double feature with another movie we did. Do y'all know?
Babe, Pig in the City?
Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Michelle Williams, of course.
Oh my god.
And B, it has the same cinematographer, Robert Richardson.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yep. We did talk about that. I think this is also not among my favorite Scorsese's. And I agree, it doesn't feel like a Scorsese movie. It has some of his trademarks, like some of the cutting is very quick. Some of the camera movements are very quick. But there are moments like, especially in the dockhouse scenes, like where we see who we now know is his daughter and her eyes like open suddenly and there's that shot of the score. Feels nothing like a Scorsese movie. Feels much more like, I don't want to say horror, but a little more atmospheric, I guess.
The one thing that really bothered me right at the beginning, that felt like such a early 2010s like horror movie like you would see in the trailers of bullshit, was where that one patient like put her finger to her lips and just went, and I was like, oh my god, that had to be a studio note or something, because I was just so fucking no.
Okay, but like I remember the promotional material for this,
Yes.
and that was like the trailer.
Everywhere. It was
That was
everywhere.
the selling point.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe that's why this wasn't like a big success, is because you go in thinking, okay, this is going to be a horror movie, yada yada, and it's like, nope, it's a psychological thriller.
I mean, financially, it was pretty big. It made like almost $300 million worldwide. I think it was
That's
like
worldwide. We're talking United States.
it
I mean,
was
it still
Scorsese's
opened number
biggest
one.
opening weekend at the time. Yeah, 44 million.
I think it's also kind of to note that this didn't open. And again, we're coming off of when Scorsese won an Academy Award, and it was like a big deal. Obviously, he never won before. And it's like this opened in February of 2010 and not
Yeah.
during an award season. Like, it got delayed to then go into February.
Yeah. I think that with this coming, like you said, right after he won his Oscar, plus 4 years later, people were probably expecting something different from the next big Scorsese movie. And yeah, so I think at the time it wasn't really appreciated because of that. But I think time has been kind to it. Like, I think as we've gotten further away from it, people have more of an appreciation for it. At least that I've seen. But
Anything else with Shutter Island?
They made a PC game based on it. That was also going to
Did they
be.
really?
And then they were going to make a Nintendo DS version of it, but it got scrapped.
that's, yeah, I can't even imagine. That's just weird. I do have two more things. Sorry, go ahead. You first.
Oh, I was going to say, this is not, I was thinking that this is the one, but no. It's The Departed that they told Scorsese, we want to franchise this, and he's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. I have two more things about the acting in particular. One, so like Emily Mortimer, Patricia Clarkson, and to a degree Michelle Williams all have like great like one scene performances in this movie. So that kind of stood out to me. But I'm curious because we haven't really talked about Leo yet. And I don't think this is considered like one of his greatest roles, but I think especially when he becomes more frantic and it becomes more clear that he's a patient, I think he's like really fucking good. So I was curious if y'all thought the same. I know, Christian, you're the last decade or plus of Leo, you're not a big fan, so.
He's fine. I mean, I've seen better.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Leo head either. So this performance is like serviceable, but I also feel like he kind of plays the same in a lot of movies.
I've never understood that.
I agree with that.
Explain. We're going to get into this because this has come up before.
Oh my God.
All right.
How is this the same as like Wolf of Wall Street and The Revenant and Django Unchained, all the other movies he was doing around this time?
Let's start with The Revenant, which is arguably his worst
You
film.
have to go back further. You have to go back to Critters 3. If you watch Critters 3, that kid already knows how he's going to act for the rest of his career. You watch Critters 3.
Leo's tapping into our Wi-Fi right now. They said, nope, we're not listening to you.
If you watch Critters 3, you see him do a Leonardo DiCaprio performance. And you're just like, he did it. He's already figured it out. And he's been coasting on it ever since. People talking about he needed an Oscar, I don't care. For The Revenant, for all things, I'm sorry, no.
You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do this because he doesn't have a lot of
Y'all are
movies.
changing the topic because you don't want to address this. How are they the same?
We're going to do this. We're going to start. So Critters 3, we've talked about it. This boy's life. I will say this. That is one of my favorite performances of his. Here's the thing, though. He's a kid. Okay, he's a kid. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've never seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I know, right? I mean, I know the scenes and everything of him, but I've never seen it. The Basketball Diaries, I don't really remember that much. The Quick and the Dead, never seen it. Total Eclipse, never seen it. Romeo and Juliet, I mean, you got some material to work with there. Marvin's Room, also a good film. Again, teenager. Titanic. That is a performance right there. Okay, I believe him. I cry for him when he dies. The Man in the Iron Mask, never seen it. Celebrity, never seen it. The Beach, never seen it. Don Small, never seen it. Gangs of New York. This is where it starts happening. At Gangs of New York.
He's bad in that movie. He's not good in that movie.
Gangs of New York, he picks one prototype for it and is like, I'm going to use this anytime I need to, which is crazy because then we have Catch Me If You Can, which is like him and his most fun.
One of his
and
best.
I love that movie. And then you have The Aviator, which honestly, I haven't seen it in years, but he's very good in that movie. Okay. Then The Departed, he's Grumpy Man again. Okay. It's Gangs in New York. That movie, though, The Departed, fabulous.
Oh my God.
But
no.
It's Leo. Like, it's Leo. I'm like, there's Leonardo.
The Departed is like a top 3 Leo performance, and Gangs of New York is probably bottom. I'm
not done. Blood Diamond, haven't seen it. 11th Hour and Narrator, I guess. Body of Lies, never seen it. Revolutionary Road, boring Leo. Okay? He's sleeping the whole time, and he looks mad the whole time. Shutter Island, again, he's fine in this. I think he's just here because he knew the guy who directed it. Inception. Let's talk about Inception really quick. I hate Inception so much. And I think that's Leo doing Leo. Okay. J. Edgar. It's him saying, hey, I can do the same thing I did on The Aviator, but I can make it J. Edgar Hoover wearing a dress. Django Unchained. Again, having fun with it. What's that? It's a comedy. It's lighthearted for him, and he's having fun. The Wolf of Wall Street. Similar situation. It's a comedy. He's having fun. The Great Gatsby. Boring. The Revenant. One of the worst films I've ever seen. A performance that is like boring to the nth degree. That is a situation of, we don't know if you're going to do this again, so let's just give this to you now. Okay? Should have went to Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, but that's a different podcast altogether. Once
Damon,
Upon a
if
Time in
anybody.
Hollywood. I liked that movie the first time I saw it. The second time I saw it, I was tired with it. Okay? Because again, that's him saying, I'm going to overplay this, and there went Zay. They must have got mad about it.
Remember where
They'll
you're
join
at.
back in because I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
Don't Look Up. Decent, not obviously the best, and it honestly just feels like it's there. Again, it's him having fun. Killers of the Flower Moon, like the movie a lot, but it's also him playing angry Leo again. And I think he got the role because he knew the guy.
Is he ever? He's not very angry in the movie. He's more like stupid. And
it's the way he looks. And then one battle after another, I'm going to say The Weird Outlier because I absolutely love him in that movie.
He's
I've
great.
seen it now twice.
It's one of his best.
And what's the common theme? He's having fun. And he doesn't do a whole lot of talking in this movie. And if he does, they're little quips and lines that are like, "Wah, bah, bah." That's it. Most of it is action-y. So like, and then that concludes my entire performance of Leonardo DiCaprio's filmography.
Which never answered the question of how is he doing the same thing in every movie. In fact, I think you made it clear he does different things in a lot of his movies.
Because mostly he takes the one thing that I'm associating with Gangs of New York and then wants to duplicate it multiple times and says, this is good enough because the people are going to love it. Look at me eating bison liver. I'm great. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, not satisfied.
Once I need backup here.
Y'all,
I'm back. I'm back.
Give me some
Welcome
backup,
back.
damn it.
Hold on.
Thanks.
Hold on 1 second. If y'all don't like Leo, I get that. It's one thing to say you don't like him as a performer. To say that he does the same thing over and over is what y'all are saying. And I have yet to hear anything that indicates that. That's something different.
I don't dislike him. I think he's overrated.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He could work with a female director every once in a while.
Totally agree.
Because I think that working with the same people or peoples over and over again doesn't do him any help. Because it's like he needs somebody to push him even more.
If it's Scorsese, I will look past it. I don't know. If Scorsese keeps offering you roles, how do you not take it? Like, it's Scorsese, but
I thought he was quite good in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. I don't disagree that he's probably overrated because he's been considered, like, I don't know, by many, maybe the greatest. And so if you don't buy that, then yeah, he's overrated. But I do think his roles are varied. That's what I'm getting at. And what he does is varied.
It's interesting if you ask me, like, who's your favorite actor? I honestly could not give you a name within like the 5 seconds. Like many people say, like Leonardo, like I couldn't tell you that. You say actress though, I'm like, oh, I'm on that.
Oh, really? You mean like all time, or like
Yeah.
working now? Oh, okay, yeah.
Working now, sure.
Oh, mine was Vincent Price. So, anyone living? I don't know.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
Fair.
Well, that's Shutter Island. That was a long ass discussion that turned into the Hate Leo DiCaprio fan club. Anything else?
Nope.
Well, we'll get off the gravy train of why we don't care for Leonardo DiCaprio. And we'll go to some more actors that are listed at the top of their craft when they were alive. But I would be what's the word? I would be remissed. I don't know. I'm a teacher guy.
Remiss.
What's the
Remissed.
What?
Yeah, remissed.
remissed? Who the fuck's remissed?
Who the fuck
Okay.
is vomissed?
I would be remiss if I didn't do an early podcast without mentioning one of my favorite directors. And as we know, E.T. is on the back burner. So we're going to go with my other director who's dead, and that's Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. Not to be not to be confused with Bob Hitchcock.
The famous Seymour Hitchcock.
Oh, there you go. All right. So the movie that I've chosen to double feature with Shutter Island is Spellbound. I feel I spoke about this when I picked it, but it is one that I don't think is widely seen as much because it's not in really any of the bigger collections that you find nowadays in the Blu-ray collections. I have a VHS collection from '99. It's not in there. It was on TCM a few weeks ago, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna record this because again, like, who can ever see this movie? I don't even think it has a proper Blu-ray release. It has a DVD release from a decade ago, but that's about it. So
I have it in a 3-pack. It's with Rebecca and Notorious. Oh, they're
There you
all
go.
Criterion. Criterion, why haven't you picked up Spellbound?
which is crazy. So that's like the old Criterion. That's like the DVD Criterion too.
Yeah.
Back when they did things like that.
It's one of those that's
So-
out of print now.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So this one I have a good synopsis for. So, Dr. Constance Peterson, played by Ingrid Bergman, a Hitchcock favorite because she's also in Notorious. Yes, see, there you go. Is a psychoanalyst. Oh ho, we're back with the psyche at a mental hospital in Vermont. But this, compared to Shutter Island, is like, I want to be in this hospital. It's a nice place. She's kind of a nice doctor, okay? She invites you into her room. She has her little tea. She's Swedish. What's not to love? Meanwhile, there's also Dr. Murchison, played by Leo G. Carroll. And as we know, he went over the barrel when Tarantula took to the hills.
I nodded. Sorry, I forgot my video's not on
Thank you.
anymore.
Thank you. Brett's not a Rocky Horror fan, so...
Whoops.
Anyway, when I told Toby, there's Leo G. Carroll, he's like, who? And I had to sing it to him. So he's a fellow doctor at the hospital, and he is going into early retirement. And his replacement is going to be somebody named Dr. Anthony Edwards. Dr. Anthony Edwards, who was played by Gregory Peck, and that man in this movie, let me tell you about Mr. Gregory Peck. Okay. Beautiful. And you look at his grandson, who evidently is in like the newest Star Trek show on Paramount Plus. He got the genes, okay? Did you change shirts? Oh, okay. Sorry. Costume change over there. Anyway, where was I? Gregory Peck, beautiful man, okay? Like, even when he was older, beautiful man. Anyway, so Dr. Edwards and Dr. Peterson, they strike it up very easily. Like, they go on a picnic where he offers her sandwiches and she's like, liverwurst, which I'm hopeful that you two saw that scene and were like, that's why he sent that text.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, that is the most
Which is crazy, because I've seen this movie before, and I was like, how did I not remember her just saying
liverwurst? Like, it's like, girl, you're making me hot right now for that liverwurst. But like I said, they strike it up and then they kiss. Ooh, doctor on doctor kissing. They have to sign some paperwork for that relationship. Not really, but you know, HR. But anyway, Edwards is also, when this happens, he's kind of a sketchy moment. Because he's freaked out by lines. And I'm like, oh, possible cokehead back in the day, maybe lines figured it out. And though at the same time, Dr. Peterson is like, is he the real Dr. Edwards? Like, what's happening here? She asks around, and Dr. Murchison is like, I never really saw Dr. Edwards before he came here. Like, I've never met him and stuff. And this is the 40s we're talking about. So it wasn't like, let me just go find him on Facebook or stalk him. Like, a guy could walk off the street and say, yeah, I'm Dr. Edwards. And everybody be like, okay, cool. whatever. I mean, there's a whole surgical scene where he starts freaking out and having a moment. And it's not like a moment of like, okay, I'm nervous right now, whatever. It's like a moment of like, like extreme panic. Okay. Dr. Peterson also comes to the conclusion that maybe this guy is not the real Dr. Edwards because she compares handwriting samples. She suddenly, in her psychoanalysis way, becomes a handwriting expert. Okay, but it is also very clearly that this is not the same person who signed the letter saying, "Hey, I'm coming to the hospital to be your new person," whatever. So she confronts him, and he's like, "You know what? I'm not Dr. Edwards." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Well, I killed him." And it's like, "What? Excuse me?" So like that happens. And then, of course, because we need a plot here, he's gone. Like, he has disappeared wherever. But he also leaves her a note. And it's like, hey, meet me at this hotel in New York City. And, like, instead of going to the police, she's like, this man gave me the best liverwurst sandwich of my life. Like, I was moist after eating this liverwurst sandwich. So she goes looking for him. Okay. And like the whole scene where she's in the the lobby of the hotel in New York City is like so weird because she's looking sketchy herself until the nosy ass hotel detective, who, by the way, when did society stop having hotel detectives? Because I would want that job.
There's
just to be like,
literally
hey,
a whole show about it, starring Steve Martin and Martin Short.
that's not what that show's about here. But anyway, she's like, I'm looking for this guy, and his name is John Brown. And he's like, okay, well, explain him to me. And she's like, he's a man, he's kind of tall. He's like, great, that could be anybody, ma'am. But lo and behold, they find him. And it's just like she knocks on the door, and it's Gregory Peck, and he's like, Constance, what are you doing here? You're going to get in trouble. That's my Gregory Peck impersonation.
That's like 20 years later, Gregory Peck. That's
Whatever.
like the Omen Gregory Peck.
Be quiet.
I'm
And
not
I'm gonna
lagging anymore. This is true.
I'm going to read to you what I wrote down exactly here. So it says, Peterson goes looking for her man in NYC and finds him hiding out as John Brown. Instead of taking him back, Homegirl wants the D and takes him to her old mentor.
Oh my God.
So yeah, no, they're like, you know what? We could go back, but let's try and solve this mystery of what did you do with Edwards? Because if I didn't say this, he doesn't remember what he did with Edwards. He just knows that the man is gone. He's dead, whatever. So she's like, hey, we're going to take you to my old mentor, Dr. Brulov, who's played by Michael Chekhov, who got an Academy Award nomination for this for supporting actor. And we're going to figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. So they do that. She lies and says, oh, this is my husband. He's unwell. We need your help psychoanalyzing him. And they do that. Though her mentor knows who this guy is and is like, yeah, I'm going to call the police. And she's like, no, please. Like, trust me. It's going to be fine. He won't hurt me. There's a wonderful scene on the train, too, when they're eating and, like, she uses a knife. And Hitchcock cuts to the knife and cuts to Peck. And it's like, what the fuck is he going to do with that knife? Like, did he do something with the knife? We don't know. That's Hitchcock for you. But they psychoanalyze the guy, and a Salvador Dali dream sequence comes on. Now, the history of this is like Salvador Dali, artist, did like a 20-minute scene for this. And it goes into Peck's character's mind and his dreams and his psyche. And that 20 minutes then got boiled down to a 2-minute segment. It is still very fascinating because you are basically in this guy's dreams, this nightmare of what he's experiencing and the things he's seen and the visions he's had, and like, what could all of this possibly mean? Okay. So it's a great dream sequence. And I think that Hitchcock did such a good job in hiring Dali because if you've ever seen his paintings, they are obviously they are the surrealist paintings. If you're like, who's that? Think of like the melting clock. That's Dali, and then go look at his other stuff, and you'll be like, oh, wow, okay, yeah. They work very well together. Dali, Hitchcock movie. So it then concluded that John Brown has a guilt complex about Edward's death. So him and Constance go to figure that out. Like, why are you guilty? And they do that by going on a ski trip. because he remembers that there's lines in the snow that have to do with skiing. And the skiing is very 1940s, where it is them just moving their bodies to the background that isn't there. And I laugh because her hair is doing the most in this scene. They put the fan on her. And Gregory Peck, dude, you're in a movie. You're supposed to be skiing. He is standing still the entire time. Like, it does not look like he is skiing at all. Bless him. He's beautiful. He can be forgiven. This guilt complex also is rooted in the fact that when Brown was a kid, he accidentally killed his brother, by the way. If I didn't say that, I don't think I did.
Reveal is always so crazy to me because I forget and then it happens and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's brutal.
I'm going off the Wikipedia thing here because I forgot to write this down, but it says it's rooted in a childhood accident where he accidentally killed his brother by sliding down a concrete banister and knocking him into a spiked fence. Could you fucking imagine that?
That'd be
Okay.
crazy.
So again, with the twist, here's some comparisons of Shutter Island in this. Here's like the twisting and turning of this. Like in 1 minute, you're like, okay, we're going to be investigating who this guy is that you may or may not have killed. Oh, by the way, you also killed your brother. Like that's haunting you a bit. That drove you to insanity? Question mark, maybe. So again, that happens. They're skiing, and then they figure out like, oh, I remember my name. My name is John Ballantyne. So now he has a third persona in all of this. And sure enough, they like get to the ski slope, the bottom of it, and they're like, this is where he is. He fell off the cliff. And I feel guilty because I was there with him when he fell off the cliff, and it reminded me of when my brother fell and basically impaled himself to death. Okay. So they're like, great. Case closed. Mystery solved. Let's go have a snack. At this point, it's like liverwurst. At this point, Hitchcock gives us a false ending because here I was thinking, oh, it's over. Like, they got away with it. Well, in sense of like, nobody came after them because they're all romantic, lovey-dovey. And then the police show up and they're like, officers, you'll find the body down there. And the officers are like, yeah, we did, but there's a bullet hole in the body. And it's like, oh, fuck, what now? So yet another twist and turn. And Ballantyne is convicted of murder. This movie, by the way, premiered October 31st, 1945. This is October 28th at the time of this recording. So happy 80th birthday to this movie. Because I'm about to spoil things because you've had 80 years to see this. Okay? So Ballantyne is arrested. He's convicted of murder. Boom. She goes back to the hospital to work, and she, this part I didn't write down. Let me see if I can summarize this. She talks to Murchison about everything that's happened, and he lets slip that he knew the real Dr. Edwards and that he didn't like him that much. And as it turns out, in a nutshell, Dr. Murchison had killed the real Edwards. Like, he's the one who shot him and left him for dead on the ski slope. So there's a really great scene because, like, Leo G. Carroll brings out that gun to Bergman, and she's like, holy shit, what's happening? And then in another twist, because Hitchcock is like, I'll give him one more. Like, the gun turns on us, the viewers, who are now Dr. Murchison. And this movie's in black and white, but there's a shot of red in this when he kills himself because, you know, he's guilty to all of this. It's like, it's a really cool shot. Like, it's a blink and you'll miss it red moment in all of this. But yeah, so that was the real murder. So because of this, Ballantyne, Edwards, John Brown, whatever, is free to go. And they go on their honeymoon. Like, she marries this guy. So this is where I was like, okay, these are two different movies because this is a more romanticized version of the psyche and everything. Because one, she doesn't want to get this guy locked up. She doesn't even want to go to the police. She's like, we're going to figure you out and then I'm going to get my liverwurst on. Like, it's a very, and it's Hitchcock being like, you know, Ingrid Bergman, beautiful person. Gregory Peck, beautiful person. I'm going to take these two beautiful people, put them in an impossible situation, very much like the 39 Steps, if anybody has ever seen that. Yes, okay, you both have. Awesome. But in the case of there's people after me, but I'm going to figure this stuff out so I can be the innocent party in all of this. And again, diving into the psyche of amnesia and the guilt complex, which the guilt complex we see in Shutter Island, where he's guilty enough of killing his wife and children that he doesn't remember it. This guy doesn't remember anything until it's like at the last second, it's like, oh, that's right, my brother's dead. Like, there's all that. So, yeah, I'm glad I picked this with Shutter Island because how I remember this movie is that they're in the hospital like the entire time. I totally forgot the on the run stuff. And then while watching it, I'm like, hey, this is great because this is like the quote unquote, and I've used that term a lot because it's like, it is the quote unquote lighter version of the mental institutions of this day versus what I think Shutter Island, what it kind of really was, because we know now through history that these hospitals were not like the best places ever. Like, there's so many reports of like, hey, this place was a little hellhole. But like I said in the beginning, her office is nice and cozy and warm, and I'm going to be her patient. Like, this is a nice, beautiful place. This is not the Bates Motel. This is a nice, quaint village, and we can just go to New York City when we want to. And Ingrid Bergman is beautiful, and she immediately falls in love with her coworker. So that is Spellbound. I really like this movie. Shutter Island, I don't think got any Academy Award nominations.
I don't think so.
By the way, yeah, this got 6. For picture, director, supporting actor for Michael Chekhov, cinematography, visual effects, and then it won for its score. So
Great score.
there you
Love
go.
the score.
Spellbound.
Let
What
me
do we
ask
think?
a fair question. Is it better to live at your liver worst or better to die at your liver best?
No comment.
Did you use ChatGPT for that?
No, I use my brain. Thank you very much. Anyway, I think you doing this movie as your double feature, the two of them, it was very smart, honestly.
Yay.
Agreed.
Because I watched like a couple like featurettes after watching Spellbound, and they talked a lot about the psychosis of soldiers after World War II and how that was like a very important topic when this movie came out because psychoses was not generally a big topic to be taken seriously in these films. And it is definitely something people were more so thinking about. And of course, Gregory Peck's character wasn't in the war or anything, but it was people who had been in the war suddenly fucked up brains, mental illness galore, and they're like, well, what the hell? And
I pause really quick here. There's one moment, and it's when they're at the train station, and he's very much hesitant to even say, like, I want the train ticket to wherever. Where I told Toby when we're watching this, hey, couldn't she just say he has shell shock from World War II? Like, to bring up the point of veterans coming back from war. Anyway, that's just an observation. Go on.
Did they even have that term yet?
I think they did.
I think there's
They
a
did
World
for
War I term.
Yeah, it's a World War I term.
Okay. I don't know my history anymore. Anyway, so yeah, and then compare it to like literally Leonardo DiCaprio's character being a World War II veteran and then him going through the psychoses. I think it's a very good compare and contrast of, Spellbound, its psychosis is very not nuanced. A lot of things are just like, I don't know if that's true, Ingrid Bergman, but you said it, so it sounds good. While
there's one point where she's like, where her mentor is like, let's do this, and she's like, let me go get my glasses.
Her talking about the dreams and stuff, I was like, okay, we need to reel it back a little bit. But then like looking at like a modern film with more nuanced takes about what, it's still very much a Hollywood picture of just making up things so that it makes sense for the story. But like you said, is a very much more real look at what things were like then. And I don't know. I think it was very nice to be able to see both sides of that. And I don't know. I think they did complement each other quite well in that way. But yeah, I like this movie. It's always a movie I want to like more because this is my fourth time seeing it ever. But it is like Bergman and Peck. Like they really just elevate the material so well. Like they have insanely good chemistry. I mean, when you're both that hot, how can you not? Um, but yeah, Gregory Peck is a dreamboat. This is like one of my like, he's one of my like all time male lead crushes, and this is one of his hottest roles. Um, yeah, I also the Dali stuff is incredible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're like, I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie, at least look up that scene because it's beautiful and
Yeah.
surreal and it's great. And I'm really sad we didn't get like the full envisioned thing that they wanted to do. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's also like 2 dead kid movies. Like, it's a reveal that there's dead kids in both movies. I thought that was fun.
Oh, yeah. I guess there is, isn't there?
I thought they made a lot of sense as a double feature too. Because yeah, the guilt complex stuff, the two leading men in both movies are very different, but also their circumstances, you can see the similarities. And I think that both films peel it back slowly. Like the whole crux of like a lot of the movie is trying to figure out who this guy is because he doesn't remember. And I really like how Peck plays it. Like from the beginning, he seems uncomfortable, even before we know what is going on. He believes that he killed this guy, and Ingrid Bergman is like, "You're accusing yourself of murder with no proof." But like, even though he thinks that he is a murderer in some sense, he tells her to stay away, and he goes and isolates himself, and he doesn't want the help. And it's like, it's kind of an indication that like there is something deeper here. This is probably a decent guy, and there's something fishy going on. So I like the way it kind of peels that back. The Dolly sequence is like the shining moment of the movie, I think. That's one of the coolest, like most unique things I've seen, like specifically from a classic Hollywood studio movie. It just feels like something you wouldn't normally see. And I agree, Zay. I really wish we had the 20-minute version of it because even now as I was watching, I didn't even know when I watched this that a 20-minute version once existed. As I was watching, I was like, oh, this is just too short. Like, I just want to continue living in this dream world that they've crafted for a little bit longer.
I mean, the 20-minute version never existed. They were like getting there, and then Selznick was like, "This isn't working out." Like after they only shot like those 2 minutes. Like it was all planned. Like there's like sketches and stuff, but they didn't shoot it.
Okay, I thought I read that they had like it was lost or something. Well, that's
But what
I
you're
guess
saying
that's,
is somewhere out there is the sketches for it.
Yes, there are in
so they're
fact sketches.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, regardless, I wish that was out there somewhere. But yeah, Ingrid Bergman, just want to like shout out the run that she was on at this time, like from 43 to 46, Casablanca, Gaslight, this, and then Notorious. I mean, has to be, and I know she had other films mixed in there, but has to be like one of the greatest runs by an actor ever. And I think she's really good here too, especially compared to some of those other movies. Not that it's my favorite of the bunch by any means, but I do think that her character in this movie has a certain power over the narrative, and that there's a lot of male characters that continue telling her that you're overthinking this and whatnot, and the way she goes through with it is kind of cool. Like you said, Zay, her methods, they maybe don't stand up scientifically, but I think it's more, it's there to drive forward the plot rather than to be a true representation of psychoanalysis. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. I really like it. It's not, I would say it's good Hitchcock, not great Hitchcock personally, but it's really interesting for sure.
You've never seen this one, have you?
Correct.
Do y'all have rankings of Hitchcock?
I do, but I don't have one like this complete one anymore.
I see. For me,
I
this
can
is
say like my number one.
This is like number 22 for me, I think, when I last looked.
Let me see.
Okay, I guess I'll go look.
Yeah, now you mentioned it. Now I have to look.
Oh me, deleting all my stuff.
I think this is probably like 16 for me. I haven't seen as many though, so.
I don't have a coherent list. I know my number one.
I know your number one.
What's my number one?
Psycho.
No.
Oh. That's just your
No,
most
it's
watched.
actually it's actually Rear Window.
Oh,
Agreed.
okay.
And then
That's
it's
also
Psycho.
mine. See, for me, it's Rear Window and then Vertigo because I'm a freak. and then Psycho, The Birds, Strangers on a Train.
I'm a big fan of The Man Who Knew Too Much.
The 56 one?
Yes, the winner of two Personal Christian Awards.
Mine is Rear Window and Psycho as well, and then Shadow of a Doubt. That's my...
Shadow of a Doubt is very good.
I really love that one.
Hitchcock's personal favorite.
Worthwhile pick.
Is that on Spellbound?
I believe so.
Cool.
So, good picks. I think those paired
Yay.
really nicely. So
Right. Well, other movies that fit the bill of the double feature. I'll read through the list. We can chime in. We have down Memento.
First one that came to mind for me. Guy with amnesia trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have A Beautiful Mind.
No. You want to have a bad double feature.
I never said the movie was great or good.
It fits the bill.
It fits the bill in terms of like he's schizophrenic and we find that it's a twist in the movie, kind of like Shutter Island.
Jeez.
So,
another great Bergman movie, Gaslight. Her entire scene at the end with the knife, I think about it a lot. And it's mostly whenever I'm holding a knife.
Oh my God.
So, great. Rebecca, another Hitchcock movie. Very much like a Gaslight psyche situation. What the hell's happening on here? Olivia de Havilland movie, The Snake Pit, which takes place in one of these asylums, hospitals, and is like, they call it the Snake Pit because it's a very bad place. It's a bunch of snakes. You put them in a pit, what happens? So, I have Unsane, the Soderbergh movie.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. That movie creeped me out because I'm like, that could actually happen.
That was one of his iPhone movies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a movie here that I evidently watched for a 1962 podcast back in the day called David and Lisa. I'm gonna read the plot really quick. I don't think either of you have seen this, but it says teenager David Clemens develops a hysterical fear that he will die if he comes into physical contact with another person. Perturbed, David's overbearing mother places him in a home for the mentally disturbed young people, but David remains withdrawn from the other patients and his psychiatrist. Over time, however, he grows interested in 15-year-old Lisa, who suffers from multiple personalities, one who can only speak in rhyme, and the other, a mute.
Interesting.
Yeah, and somewhere I saw where it was like considered one of the best films of 62, and it's rated high on Letterboxd. I was not a fan because I don't think I got it, but I just wanted to throw that one out there since it is a widely underseen movie, I guess. It's on Canopy and it's on Tubi.
Adding that to my watch list. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it fits. I mean, it fits the bill. So, another one, The Three Faces of Eve, which Joanne Woodward won her Oscar for. I personally don't care for it, but it is a multiple personality movie where she does seek help and treatment to, like, help her, essentially, with it. High Anxiety, the Mel Brooks movie, which I'm fairly certain the hospital stuff from Spellbound is the main core of High Anxiety.
Yeah.
Fairly confident, having seen that movie a bajillion and a half times. If you want to talk some psyche and some dual personality and some holy cow plot twists, Black Swan.
Some delusions. And
I
yeah,
almost
it's all there.
I almost picked it for this double feature. I saw it in IMAX this past year, like in the last month, and that movie hits. Like, it is so good. The audience was silent at the end.
I'm just imagining the hangnail scene in IMAX. Like,
Oh,
ooh.
yeah. A movie which I don't think is the best either, but is Split. M. Night Shyamalan's like, I'm gonna make me a superhero trilogy. Like, okay, sure thing, buddy. You really want to get into the psyche? What about the psyche of a child? It's Inside Out and Inside Out 2.
Sure.
Okay. Like those movies, that movie, because I've only seen the second one once, but the first one, it hits very well. And I think it is a very good representation of like having worked with kids, the range of emotions there.
Mm.
So, what do I have next on here? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Lobotomies.
Lobotomies. Brett and I saw it in theaters this past year. I haven't seen it in years, and it's just so damn good.
It's so good.
Yeah, like the way that yes, the way that he's treated in that hospital is not ideal situations, but for the time,
Would make a great
Girl,
double feature with this next one.
Girl Interrupted.
Yeah.
I have not seen that movie in years too, but I remember it, and especially Angelina's character. And I think to wrap it all up, American Horror Story Asylum.
Incredible. Actually, not to wrap it up because I thought of one and I didn't put it on the doc. It was one I was thinking about earlier, and I would be like, this would be a silly one. Harvey with Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Good
It should have
call.
That
been
movie's...
Shutter Island and Harvey.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
See, now you're getting into movies about imaginary friends. So here we go. We have the Imaginary, which nobody saw but me. If, which was good. Yeah, Jojo Rabbit.
And I think we're getting too far.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That's it. That's my double feature, my first one.
Boo, doo, 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 pew, 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 pew.
I think it was better than all of yours. So.
Oh my god.
Ooh, fighting words.
Do I introduce the next one, don't I?
You have the next one too.
Okay, well, here we go. Well, all right. I said that this is gonna... I don't know when this next one's coming out, but it's around the time of Thanksgiving. So if there's anything that I know about Thanksgiving personally, it's I got a big family, right? And it's been very much changed, impacted this past year. And, family traditions and all that, very, very big, important and stuff. And also in the news, there's a lot of stuff about families and families having to change literally their entire livelihoods to move and immigrate to just different countries and cultures and all that. So we're going to focus on that. And we're going to do some big, heavy talks about these movies. The first one is from 1995. So, Brett, I got your ass. I got your ass to watch a movie not on your list. For his little 30th in 95 project. But it is a movie directed by Gregory Nava, who gives us movies such as El Norte and Selena. And it is one called My Family. starring Jimmy Smits and Edward James Olmos and S.A. Morales. And it is about family of Mexican Americans immigrating from Mexico to Los Angeles and their entire history. So we have that because, of course, I have to pick a movie about a Latino family because that's just who I am. And for my second pick, because I could not go without picking a musical, we're watching Wicked. No, I'm joking. We're watching a movie that I felt like I've begged Brett to see, and I feel like he's seen it, but it is one that means a lot to me. Having been in this one show my entire acting performance life, and one that stayed with me, and one that is about family and traditions, and that is, of course, the 1971 classic Fiddler on the Roof.
Have not seen it.
I win again. I win again.
It's a good movie, Brett.
It is very good. And it's like I think it's a perfect to watch around this time movie. Again, big family, traditions and customs. This time centering around a European Jewish family. So we have two very distinct, different families with very unique backgrounds and very similar situations happen to them. And we'll see and talk about what those are.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to it.
No, as soon as you were talking musical, and as soon as you were talking about traditions, I already was typing in Fiddler on the Roof. I knew.
Oh my God.
I knew.
Do you want to hear? Okay, so here's the thing. My original one, I really wanted to do Wicked for Good, and that was my plot to get you two to see it faster than you ever thought you could.
Oh my God.
But then I felt bad because I was like, I don't want to have to pressure them to talk about it that fast. Do you want to? You know what? No. I'm going to tell you what my double feature with Wicked for Good would have been had we picked it, because I know Zay would appreciate it.
Is it Return to Oz?
No.
Oh, okay.
So.
Is it
That's
filmed
that.
on Broadway?
No, it's not. I'm saving that one.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I tell you, I have a list.
All right. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that one. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. I know they all have different usernames, but if you just search our name, I'm sure you can find them.
I'm going to tell you the Instagram one because I need to update it, but I like Instagram a lot. That one is quite literally Midwestern double feature.
There we go.
I think that's the best one because Zay does some wonderful graphics for us on there.
Agreed.
So, and all the links to however you want to find it, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, they're all there. Eventually you'll see my pretty face.
Very cool. Oh yeah, I
And
forgot.
you
I added all of our social media in the show notes, so you can just go there
Nice.
too. So
There you go.
there you go.
I just wanted to add before we go, sorry I was kind of absent the first half of the show as I had some technical difficulties, but I just want to say I've seen The Island, and that may be his worst role to date.
What?
What?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
They mean the
Island.
beach?
The beach. Sorry.
Oh, the beach. I
My
was like,
bad.
are you confusing him with? Isn't Ewan McGregor in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But I've seen The Beach.
The beach.
Okay,
He's
I
bad
haven't
in
seen
it.
that one. So
He's terrible. Anyway,
fair enough.
after that snafu. Good luck. Goodbye. Good night.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.